Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Stu and this is Pinecone Lake for Rollercoaster Tycoon Classic, part 12 of the Bugfix Scenario Pack. Turn this small recreational area into a huge amusement park. Your objective, to have at least 2,500 guests in your park. You must not let the park rating drop below 700 at any time. So already I can see an issue underneath the spiral slide. There's some sort of texture missing. That's why it's showing up as being black. We can solve that just by painting some texture over it, some normal ground texture. So we have got quite a large park. Let's turn off scenery a second. And whoa, there's a gap on that. I'm going to assume it's not going to crash. I'm going to assume it's OpenRCT2 shenanigans. Let's have a look. Toboggan. So it's a bobsleigh coaster, it's flying turns coaster. Yeah, there you go. So what they've done is they've added a photo section from a different ride, or there is a photo section available on this on OpenRCT2, but obviously on Classic it's not there, so it doesn't show up. So it's fine, it's not going to crash. So we've already got a flying turns, we've got cable car ride, a spiral slide, a mini golf with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes, and space rings. Over this side, we've got the other cable car station and a swan boat. So one thing I am going to want to do is I'm going to want to fix that. Okay, so let's have a look. Free entry to the park. It's quite a big park as it is. We can't buy any more land. There's no more land. We haven't got land rights that we can use. That's fine. It's quite a big park. Let's see what rides we've got. Okay, no transport ride. Wait a second. Okay. So I'm going to assume that there's some sort of issue with this and that there aren't just no rides available, because these rides that are already built should be selected. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to load this up on the PC. I'm going to have a look at it, and then what I'll do is I'll save it and then I'll load that back up on here and then try that out. Okay, so I loaded it up on PC. All the rides were there as they should be. I saved it, loaded it then up on tablet, and the rides are here working. So we've got a couple of transport rides, some gentle rides. We've got coasters, decent selection, some thrill rides, some water rides, and not a bad selection of shops. One issue that we have got though is that there's nothing available to research. So either there is still an issue with researching, or this is all we've got. So I'm not sure which at the moment. I think I am just going to play, and if we get to the stage where we really need some new rides, then maybe I'll have a look on PC again and fix something that way. So we need to get a rating over 700. We've already got that. Usually when you play these, when you've got an empty park, the rating will be down on 0, so you have to get it over the 700 to begin with. We haven't got to worry about that. But what we do need to do is make sure that the rides that we've got are good. So space rings, I'm going to shorten the queue on that. Golf, I'm going to get rid of that, but I'm going to replace it with, rather than having one course of 5 holes, I'm going to have maybe 2 courses of a single hole each. The flying turns, that's fine as it is. I might redo the paths so they've got a separate path coming out, and where we've got this gap just there where the photo section is, I think what I'll do is I'll hide that. I'll put like a little building over it or something, just so it doesn't look odd. I'll put a track on the swan boats, that way then the guests can't go off, because like this guy here, or these two here, they could, you know, potentially they could leave the park, I suppose, or fall off the side of the map. I'm not sure, but we want to stop that happening. Cable car ride. I'll probably adjust these settings. Maybe have a maximum waiting time of a few seconds. That way, then we won't end up. If you haven't got that, then you could end up with a situation like we've got now, where you've got quite a few guests waiting to come in. Because we don't want guests to get upset. Because if they get upset, we'll lose our park rating, and then potentially we could lose the game. So I can't research anything. So at the moment, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do those quick fixes, and then I'm just going to start putting down some rides. May year one. So I've done my little fixes around the park. We've still got an issue there. What's happened here? Maybe I've got it too fast. If I slow it down, maybe that'll help. So I shortened the queues, got the two golf holes there. I've got a circus down there, broken down by the looks of it. Added a track on the swan boats. I've added a kiosk and a toilets at most of the corners. Got a couple of little rides up here. That way, then what I've done is I've tried to spread some rides out a bit. Like there's a couple there. I've added a circus over there. That way, because rather than shutting the paths down, rather than no entry sign in the paths, because we've got these rides up here, I want to keep them open, but I want the guests to have something to do no matter where they are in the park. Got a lot of shops down as well. So having the kiosks all over the place, that means when it rains like it is now, we get a ton of cash, 5,000 last month. Having all the toilets everywhere, obviously they can go to the toilet, and if we have enough toilets, we might win best toilets. That'll give us some extra guests. We need to get 2,500 guests. As long as we're careful building things and don't let guests get upset, we should be fine. We can just take our time, maybe make something looking quite nice, and just have some fun. October year one, so I've added a pedal boats over there. Junior coaster just here. Centipede. Decent stats. Comes out, follows the terrain down, and then it comes off here, back around, and then back up to the station. And then we've got a log flume just here. Lakeside logger. Nice and exciting. Quite a long track on this. Now there is a method in the madness. Simply because we're going to need 2,500 guests, which is quite a lot. So we might have complaints about overcrowding. So the more guests we've got on the track, on this ride, the less guests we've got on the path. And also we got a nice little buffer in the queue as well. A little bit of scenery around the golf holes. There's a nice space over here, so I think we can start building some coasters over here. Yeah. Let's have a look at how the guests are doing. It's going up nicely. So, yeah. All good so far. October year 2, still only around 900 guests. So I'm not really sure why it seems to be stalling. I've got a looper and a go-karts here. I've just had to redesign the looper because it kept varying between these two loops there. I did have an interaction where it was coming through these loops nice and slow. That way then you're guaranteed to have one train going around the loops whilst everyone goes through it. But I think it was colliding. So I'm not sure. But that was causing it to vary by here, and it shouldn't be, considering how fast it's going through there. The stats come back. Yeah. Nice excitement. So I think what I'll do is I'll try reducing the prices, because we're making tons of cash. We don't need a huge amount, and we are struggling for guest numbers. So I'm going to try reducing the ticket prices. We can make the flat rides maybe free. The coasters, £5. and just see if that affects it. October year 3, we're over halfway there. Got a side friction coaster here. Scenic Railway. Decent stats on that. If you can stop them dying by falling off, then you're halfway there. The rest of it is a practice with these. The mini suspended coaster here, again, just comes out around and back up to the station. And then following it around, we've seen the pedal boards. We've got another one of these similar type of thing as the other one. This one is a lay down type. So this one is called Pond Skater. Decent stats on that. They do lose speed very, very quickly on these. And then just here then we've got the Bat. So it launches out into the bat wing and then back round. Cool. Yes, we are doing better now that we've decreased the pricing. I'm pretty much running out of rides now though. So I think what I'm going to do, we've had 3 years. I figure after 3 years, I would have pretty much researched almost everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. I'm going to put it back on PC. I'm going to use OpenRCT to unlock all the rides. And I'm going to load it back on here. Because the research on this isn't working. So some sort of issue. Don't know what. Otherwise, I'm going to have to keep reusing the same rides that we've already got, which is going to get boring. So let's see what new things we've got, and then we can build those and get to the goal. October year 3, let's have a look to see what rides we've now unlocked. So we've got, what have we got? We've got monorail cycles. That's not good. In the gentle section, we've got an observation tower. We can use that. Dodgems, cool. Coasters. That's new. That's new. 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 Did we have the bobsleigh already? I'm not sure. Flying and vertical drop. Of course, we've got some really cool roller coasters that we've unlocked. Thrill rides, decent selection now. We've got the launch free fall, swinging ship, sim ride, top spin, river rapids, and splash boats. That'll be cool to avoid overcrowding. We've seen these, and loads more shops. Cash point, that'll be handy. I'll put a load of those down now. That way, if any guests are running out of cash, they can get some out and buy more things. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to start putting down some of the rides that we've just unlocked. I'm going to start with the flat rides, and then I'm going to try out some new coasters. October year 4, just under 1,800 guests, and it's raining again. It's always raining. So next to the Lakeside Logger, then I've built the Lakeside Rapids. Again, gone a bit long on the track because I do want the guests to be on it for a while to get them off the paths. Decent stats. I like that little section there. So I'm spending a bit more time on scenery and things like that because we haven't got a time limit on the game. So we can just take out time and have some fun. Let's have a look. What else have we got? We've seen these, got the sim ride, built a wooden coaster just up here. Just comes out, uses the terrain. There's a little quick visit to the lake, and then back up, and then back round. Timberwolf, good stats. A couple of swinging inverter ships. I need to sort out that exit. It's Filthy. Need to get some handymen on that. Observation tower. Dodgems. Oh, hello. Hang on. I got a no entry sign. In the wrong place. There's a rookie mistake there. That's probably causing me some problems. I was wondering why this ride isn't very popular. October 5, 2100 guests in the park, so less than 400 to go then. We've got a launch twister here. Can you see the glitch underneath the booster tracks? Is there some like black lines? So it launches out, a couple of corkscrews, cobra roll, and then back around a few twists and then back to the station. See the black lines? It's only from that angle. Turn it round, it's fine. It's annoying sometimes because you want to have the twister in the thumbnail, but the black lines spoil it. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of paint wizardry. So let's have a look at the stats on that. Flying squirrel, good stats. Let's see what else we've got then. Splash boats, jolly boats, good stats on that. Again, long. We want the guests off the paths because we want to avoid overcrowding. And it's raining again. Stop raining. Okay, so it comes out, little drop there, little meander, and then the first main drop, down, up, back around, another drop, and then another drop, and then a slow trip back to the offloading station, which is just by here. And then the boats go around empty, then back up to the entrance station. 4-minute ride time. So that'll keep a lot of guests off the paths. Let's have a look. At the moment, it's nowhere near busy. 152 guests on that one ride. And then just over here, we've got one of these little hairpin coasters. Treetops. Now, there's low excitement on that. There's a reason for that. So the highest drop isn't high enough, so we get a stat penalty, but that's fine because it's like a family ride. There's no one's going on at the moment because it's raining. Cool, yeah, so only about 300-400 guests to go. So I'm not going to do much now. I'm only going to put down enough to beat the park because I don't want to be busy doing something and forgetting about it, and then all of a sudden I've passed the park when I'm not recording. So I'm not going to do too much now. I just want to get that up to the 2,500 and pass the scenario. July year 6, less than 50 guests to go. We've got a little drop tower there, but the main addition to the park is this vertical drop coaster here. And look, I've even got a holding brake. I did get a comment saying, why do I never have holding brakes on my vertical drop coasters? Reason being, number one, they take too long. And reason two, they don't add any excitement to the rides. In real life, they do. First time I ever rode SheiKra, Busch Gardens Tampa, I pretty much needed new pants after the holding brake. Subsequent rides, I was fine. I mean, I can do it now, hands up, etc. Woohoo! But first time, absolutely terrifying. I suppose it does help the fact that the area is so flat. It feels like you're twice as high up as you are because you can see so much further. If I was to look out my window now, all I'd see is a hill. Look out a different window, I see another hill. So, yeah. What's the stats on Falcon? Decent stats. Only another 30 guests to go. I'm going to drop the price of the umbrellas down. So we've got 200 grand in the bank. I figure that's enough, to be honest. Drop it down, drop it down. Guest numbers do seem to be sort of stagnating, so I might need another ride or two. I think this looper, I made it a bit big. It's taking up a massive space. I've got a little top spin there as well. So I think another top spin just there. I think we might need another ride. Just something small, doesn't have to be anything too great. Maybe I could reduce the price of my coasters as well. I've got cash machines everywhere, but maybe they don't want to use them. One thing I did as well, I worked out how many toilets and staff I'd need in order to win best toilets and best staff. So I've added all of them, but I haven't won any awards, and that winning an award would give me a nice boost of guest numbers. But I've noticed, looking back, not a single award, which is odd. Normally I win them quite often, but not a single award has been won. So there's a few issues I've had so far with this park. Firstly, there was no rides at the beginning. There was rides already put down, but there was no rides we could build. So I had to load it up on PC, save it, and then load the saved version up on this. And then, even then, we had the rides, but we couldn't research anything. So what I did was I waited until we got to the point where we'd built pretty much everything, and then I loaded it back up on PC, unlocked them via OpenRCT 2, and then put it back on here. I figured 3 years was enough, that we would have unlocked everything anyway. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to build something. We've got some space there. What I'll do is I will have a link in the video description for the fixed version. So what I'll do is I'll save the version that I loaded up at the start. I've also got a few ideas to try as well, to try and fix the research bug, and I'll include them as well. There's been a couple of issues with, I mean, these scenarios so far, they've been great, but there has been a couple of little issues with them. They were built on PC, on OpenRCT 2. They weren't built with Classic in mind, but majority of them work no problem. Some of them will need a little bit of encouragement, Should be enough now. Guest numbers ticking up. "13 guests. Not even the rain can stop us now. It has rained pretty much non-stop, which has been great for umbrella sales. And great for the ducks. It's not great for people who want to record the screen. Let's put it on fast forward. Come on. I suppose what we could do is we could always put a no entry sign by the exit, just so that we go over the 2,500. Don't leave it there long enough that guests get angry and the rating drops, but if we just left it there long enough so that, say, a few guests couldn't leave, we'd be fine. Only 3 to go, 2 to go. It's raining again. There's some people coming up the path. There we go. And we've done it. Fantastic. Stew. Awesome sauce. We did it. It took us almost 6 years, but we had some issues along the way, but we done it. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to try and get this file fixed, and if I can, I'll put the one I've got anyway, and I'll try and put the fixed one as well if I can get that working. I'll try and put that on there. There'll be a link in the video description. So this was Pinecone Lake. I've been Pinecone Stew. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.